So, do you guys have any idea what it's like to be me? Do you guys have any clue? I mean, you've watched me for a little while, right? What is my day? What does it include? Why is it this way? Well, I tell you, it's like every day is a different day when you're trying to not be a goddamn dildo when you're in a world of dildos, right? Well, look, I'll tell you something, right? Every day I have to wake up, I have to figure something out. And then I have to play it on my little recorder here, on my little xylophone here. Then I have to figure out what's next, what's going on. I have to chime in to like 4 hours of argumentation so I can make rational discussions on anything philosophical, right? Then what do I have to do? I have to fucking fill my whole day with stacks and stacks and more stacks of legal documents everywhere. Documents, legal documents everywhere. Why? Because I fight fucking court cases. Not just my court cases, but yeah, court cases, right? And in this particular case, it is my case, right? Then I have to chime in to what's going on in Nerdland, in young Nerdland, and all the people dropping the boomer meme, and all the kids with their ways and the new ways and the new media, and listening to what's coming out and stay abreast of that. Then I have to learn my Hungu Mao and punch up on my Ukrainian, and then go talk to my Spanish Mexican neighbors that are around, and still no hablo español as much as I try to jump into it, right? I'm in crisis in terms of the mind. Plug it in, listen, absorb, regurgitate, try to learn, try to keep up with the young punks, right? I don't have any kids. I'm just here tuning in, clicking in, trying to solve, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what's next, trying not to get in the goddamn slammer, right? And then in the meanwhile, what do I have to do? I'd have to knock out the next painting. Yo, bro, thank you, right? Yo, check it out. That's right, cowboy. I'm digging on my brother. Then what do I have to do, right? Oh, yeah, I have to wander through the whole morning, through the whole afternoon, wondering whether or not I'm actually going to be thrown in the slammer because I'm doing something wrong in a court case. And why am I in a court case? Why would I be in a court case? Well, I'm in court cases because people make allegations against shit. Now, I'm not the most amazing truth-telling guy in all circumstances. Sometimes I'm really sarcastic and ironic and overly full of hyperbole, and I shit talk, and I'm verbose. And what am I supposed to make of it all? What am I supposed to do? Well, I'll tell you what I do. I go and I refill another cup of coffee, cold instant coffee, and I drink it and I pound it. And why do I do it? So I can stay alert, so I can figure out what's going on in the next day. And no, I'm not on any drugs. I'm not on anything. I had to sober up, post-apocalyptic, post-Eli, post-revelation, post trying to figure out whether or not I'm a psychotic, going by the word Subaru and thinking that means sue the bar you, right? And dissecting every little data bit that's coming my way, that's making any movement of making even a possible interpretive sense of the whole universe. That's what I'm busy doing, right? Trying to reinterpret a non-psychotic world through a psychotic lens and then throw it back and reduce it to a sense of rationalism. And what's the point? Why does anyone spend their time doing this? A, number one, don't go to jail. B, number two, be as kind as possible until the knives come out. 3, keep being creative. Keep coming up with the next angle. It's almost as if the world is full of loopholes, and I'm left here trying to decipher which ones I got to jump through, which ones I got to pay attention to, and which ones I have to avoid. right? All the meanwhile, still dealing in this gimpy body of mine, not knowing whether or not I should cut off a fucking leg, get a hip transplant, get a brain transplant, go see a fucking psychologist, go fucking not fire my attorney, right? But no, that's what I do. I fire my fucking attorney in paper, in a manuscript, not a transcript, but a manuscript, because I'm too busy interpreting the world of transcripts in a court system full of women, right? I'm sitting here trying to maintain my manhood as I'm giving my testimony such that my nuts aren't cut because of some play of dildos, a dildonics play, if you will. Cheers. Cheers to me. Cheers to not using methamphetamines. Cheers to instant coffee. And cheers to my ex-girlfriend who I told her, look, you'll forever not be my enemy because you ponied up instant coffee, right? Besides that, we lasted a week this last time. 5 months ago, we lasted 24 hours. This time it's a week. What do I get out of it? I get a babysitter fucking cat, right? Jack the cat. Smells like cat shit. Anyway, and so then what am I on to? What's on to the next? Trying to teach my niece, oh, Santo Paulo smoke smells good. You should perhaps burn some every now and again and do a little smudging. She's an atheist. She doesn't believe in spiritual smudgings. She doesn't have any need to try to pontificate the nuances of the world of the olfactory and the meditative and ritualisms, right? She's not there. She's young, right? Just trying to, I mean, I was upset when she had to explore coffee. But what's it like to be me when you have an old friend from way back when saying, hey, look, you're a liar, because he, when we were little kids, said that he fell out his mom's butt, that he was a butt baby. And then we get into college and I'm telling everyone, hey, good old D here, without revealing his name, says that he came out his mom's butt. He's a butt baby. And he goes, you're a fucking liar, fucking liar, right? And he yells this at me, right, way back in the day. And I thought, well, I don't want to make him a liar by me not being a liar. So make certain that at some point in time, I'm actually a liar, right? But make certain it's like an important time to be a liar, not just some regular, just lie about anything sort of shit, right? Make certain that it makes sense to be a liar. Anyway, and then he tells everyone, my mom says that I came out her bottom, right? Not that I was a butt baby. I didn't say it came out her butt, but that's what he did say. He did say it came out her butt. And that's how I remember it. But he's got an eidetic memory. He remembers everything, right? Supposedly, like he can quote shit from our childhood verbatim. But now he drinks a lot. He's got his own shit going on. And so what do? Well, I try to keep up with the next generation of numbskulls, realizing the next generation is yielding these mega geniuses that are going to align with the hyper arc of everything that humanity's going on. And then it's also turning out these numbskull plebes, these morons, these dipshits that are able to fulfill some sort of gap in space-time, right? And then I realized, like, this is the same thing. It's the same army gag from here to eternity. Part of the population's numbskull, part of it's kept up. There's these it's a super generation of amazing individuals. So what do I go on to next? What am I doing? Oh, well, make certain that you read. Make certain every day you're reading something. But no, put your attention towards knocking out a painting. And if you just stay with it, you could knock out a painting every single day. And then you would actually be blue again. Pony boy, you'd be golden again. You'd be back tuned in. You would be all caught up. But no, I have to produce these whack job paintings, right? I have to produce this kind of weird, like out of my head surf scene, right? And then that employs way too much mind power for me to actually know, how to direct the painting, which way I'm going to take the painting. Why am I going to put energy into distorting the painting in the manner in which I'm distorting it, I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but representationalism is just boring. And when Crumb says who wants to be a human Xerox machine, I think half the time, like, yeah, I do. Like, as long as the end result looks good, I do. But the other half the time, I'm like, I totally agree. Like, who wants to churn that out, right? Go to Mike Fahl, MikeFahl.com if you want to see more as to why it is one shouldn't merely be a human Xerox machine. But then to spend your time going wonky in the head, going bonky in the head, trying to figure out whether or not the whole world is necessarily just a broken down series of paradigms where you're not certain whether or not you're a solipsist in the Truman Show, or whether or not you're a panpsychist and everything's alive, or whether or not the world is one and there's Zen and God and the oneness completes itself and shows you exactly who you'll be at the moment of your telos, your biological end, and the fracturing and all the connections and everything that you ever will be and everything you ever connected to, all as a single oneness, and that you interpret every single song and every single movie and every single thing and every single data set as if it's meant for you and to you, and that you're also supposed to look at it out there away from you. But meantime, you're busy dissecting, pulling it apart, pushing it back together. And then what do? If you're me, you make a book on contradiction. Why? Because you can't handle the load. You can't handle the mental load. You're trying to figure out the daytime talk shows, the daytime common, be polite, like safe, not safe for work episode versus the after school special, and you don't know how to quite juggle it. That's what it's kind of like to be me, right? So, functioning schizoid who jumps off the roof chasing stars because I connect with aliens and I'm peered out. The holographic effect is actually tailing on in, and then it's all for me. It's all me. Look, don't harm thyself. Even if you have masochistic tendencies, just don't do it. Don't do it. Relax. Carry on. And then I'm like, now I'm nuts, like I've got the mind of a 19-year-old in the modern day, and I'm just going and everything's like a dumb meme and a selfie, and it's just like like looking at everyone's neurosis on public display, looking at everyone, half the people bitch in the world, and it's like, I guess it's always been there, but now we got the avenue to do it, and it's even kind of okay to do it, hence this video, right? But then what's the real trouble? What's the real crisis? Going to court, putting your ass on the line, fucking causing shit, tossing shit, saying this is what's happening. This is how you guys are doing it. Oh, you guys are on my team. You guys are going to do things in my benefit. Well, I'm going to fire your ass. I'm going to backstab my buddies, the people that are just trying to get me through with the lowest common denominator of problems. Like, oh, here's what you get to do. You get to take the lowest plea. We're going to have 2 charges, and we're going to drop one if you plead this way to that. It's the old gag, the old charge him with 2, drop 1, put pressure on him, get the thing done. Now, most people will take it. Just go. And so then you put it in, and then before the sentencing, you get time to change your mind. And so what do? You change your mind. That's what I did. Keep changing your mind, not because you're trying to betwixt the court, not because you're trying to like fuck anyone over per se. It's because you've had it up to here with the fucking system. You're just done. You're done with the fucking system. You don't want to have to deal with the horse shit that it's bringing down on you anymore. You're not going to kill yourself. You don't want to kill yourself. There's no need to kill yourself. But you get online and you listen to people that have killed themselves, and then you listen to other people, and they're fucking dealing with listening to other people online that have offed themselves. And then you want to feel sympathy. And then like, oh, well, now I'm an antinatalist because life's worthless and everything's blah. And now I'm not intentionally that. And life's good and great. But who wants to deal with this and compete with 7 fucking billion people? And take very fucking Chinamen, we're engineers coming our way and fighting our political system with their better political system as the fucking powers that be are draining this battery of this very fucking computer. This thing's going out. It's going down. I don't even have the power cable for it, as it's in the other room. And now I gotta waddle my broken fucking fat ass ankles back over there and get that fucking power cable before this fucking cheap ass battery breaks. But I'm just gonna take you with me anyway, so I don't have to bitch and moan. And look, you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Do you fucking know what this is? That's almost my get out of jail free card, as if I need one. Today's the last day, I tell you folks. Today is the last day, because tomorrow is the moment of fucking, it's the moment of truth. I might be in the slam, in the clink, right? Who knows what kind of guidance I'm going to have, what kind of denial I can continue, what kind of thing I can reforce feed, because I'm fed up. I'm fed up with the fucking system. They get to play malpractice, but the people just have to suck it up. You know, the whole I fought the law and the law won, or a man who has represents himself as a fool for a client. All of that sort of horse shit. Now it's better to represent yourself. Trust me. If you give in, you get a defense attorney. Their job is just to push you through the fucking system as fast as the Bar Association will allow them to do it. There's prosecutorial advantage. It's fucking insane. It's absurd. People are getting ripped off by this fucking court system in the U.S. because they're overloaded. What are they supposed to do? They all go in the defense, the prosecution of the state, dealing with people below the poverty line. They have fucking file after file after file of bullshit they have to deal with. So what do? You take them to an ethics committee. You take the judge to a judicial review if you think that there's malfeasance on their part, which I think there is malfeasance on their fucking part. Anyway, that's partially and partly the day in the life of what's going on. But look at this. Oh, now we're back to the old good contradiction. Contradiction. Who believes in contradiction? Well, look, can I even get that going? Can you guys see that? Let me get some lights on this, please. Can you guys get the lights on this, please? Can I get my crew over here? Anyway, and then the whole idea, you go into these argumentation rooms, you start arguing. You want to argue with some atheists. You want to fucking tell them about aliens. You want to use induction to prove your status. I mean, I'll shut down a whole goddamn room of argumenters. I mean, it takes me about 5 hours to field everything. But yeah, I can pretty much show that I'm a Gnostic theist now. I can pretty much argue it with the best of them. Just can't seem to get Matt Dillahunty on the fucking phone. We're in these rooms, and then their biggest complaint when I'm in the fucking room after a while is, you're overcomplicating things. That's what you're about, overcomplicating things. And you could just say stuff so much easier. It'd be so much clearer if you didn't try to overcomplicate things, right? And so then the whole argument about otherworldly and greater worldly intelligence just falls fucking down to an argument about how it is your discourse is overly complicated, even if you argue that you are in fact being the most parsimonious son of a bitch that you can possibly be, right? That's the problem. Okay, check it out. B, proposition B towards P, proposition, there is a God. And so you got not B and P, the second line down, or B and not P, right? And then you have to move in the word consider instead of B. You do a lowercase b. Lowercase b is consideration. It's not the same field domain relative to this notion that knowledge is specious form of belief, right? It's an inversion, it's a diversion, it's an exception to the rule of justified true belief. But when you're dealing with court systems, it's not the same thing, right? When you deal with a court system, you're dealing with a specific set of rules, a specific set of lexicon. You don't use the word I understand. You say okay. You say stuff that is benign to the register of the court. How do I know it? They even asked, do you study law? And I said, no, of course I don't study law, right? But does that mean You know, the legal definition of studying law might actually mean, yeah, I kind of, I stick my nose into Utah law because A, it's being flung at me, right? And I happen to be here, right? Big problem. Hey, look, it's the Brothers Karamazov. Hey, I love your bud, in Russian even. Shit, my Ukrainian. I forgot it all after I got the shit kicked out of me in the Ukraine. I forgot everything. And then it's the history of violence, right? The history of violence. I'm an okay masochist. I'm not a much of a sadist. You get into these fucking rooms and you get the shit kicked out of you. You're in the can and they put 5 other guys in there and you're wondering, like, the only thing that fucking saved me is underneath the cot with 5 guys in the room, not knowing if I had to sleep with one eye open. It says Area 51. And I'm like, yep, these guys are just aliens. This is merely a holodeck. I'm completely safe. I've already had Jesus on my side. And know what? Once saved, always saved. That's what they say, right? You just got to keep holding the faith. Oh, but then you also want to include the whole Quran. Listen to the Quran, but bag the hadiths. You don't need some secondary book. You don't need no Doctrine and Covenants to buttress your Book of Mormon. You don't need no hadith to buttress your Quran. What's up with these buttressing secondary self-interpreting books? Just read the base instrument and drop the rest, right? That's the horse shit. Everyone's trying to buckle down, lay on the next law, signature laws, digital signature laws, the new laws that are going into effect next year that are going to allow every state to pull from the national database more immediately and apply it. Apply it to you, apply it to me, apply it to everybody, right? This is a fucking problem. What do you do? How do you deal with it? Everything coming to one, everyone being networked to everyone else's bullshit. Anybody you touch, anything that you reference, any item and person that you connect with, you are now involved in the intricacies of their feed, their mind, and then you're on the Black Mirror and any other Netflix show and any other goddamn Hulu channel or any other video or any other thing or stream or organization or any other idea. It's all just one being fed into one, and then you're in the afterlife because you're in ghost land, you're in ghost world. Now, what are you supposed to do when you're in ghost land and ghost world? You fight the ghosts that are fighting you, and even some of them that you think are your friend, you have to kind of backstab them if you don't like where they're leading you. Like, hey, let me just lead you over here to this shit water for a little drink. Right? Don't you like that? I mean, it's better than just eating the whole fucking sewer over here, right? Like I'm doing you a favor, right? Now they can blow themselves up. Oi. Uh-oh. Well, the Vatican scene again. Oh my God. Oi. So it's early morning. It's not quite a sibling's birthday. But I tells you something. I just had to tell you guys something, right? I'm going to close this down within a half hour. I appreciate you, Fodor. I really do. I don't read every book. I jumped into philosophy at Wittgenstein, worked my way through the 20th century philosophers and back up. Not a lot of interest in the old school Republic. No Pythagorean, no Plato's. I mean, read a little bit of everything, but don't spend too much time on it, right? Then move, baby, back to the 19th century, pull up some of that Whitehead, Frege, Russell. Actually, that's not even then. And then back, and it's even like some of the brightest, smartest minds are like really caught up on fucking Kant just because he split the world into the a priori, right? It's like, oh, come on. Really? You're going to linger on that data bit? Just supplant the experience forward. He supplants it forward, but then he's trying to like relegate and categorize. And the problem with categorization is the problem. Every single categorical outline, any delineation, there's a possibility that it's not discrete, that you can make any discrete line a diffuse line, and any diffuse line you can compress it and attempt to make it more discrete. make semi-permeable non-permeable, right? This is the problem. Come here, Papa. So what do? Why do I do it? Why am I even deciding I wanted to do this video? Because I just had like this chopping notion on my mind. Like I needed to say something. I needed to do something. I needed to have some sort of quick dialogue about what it is to be me in the moment. Like, where are my minds? Yeah. Like, okay, pull any word together, any idea that you want together. Like FYO. It was just typed SYO, right? I don't know what FYO means. Fuck your omen, right? Forever yours. You know, for your overt non-information. You know, I mean, even acronyms, everything being busted down, and then you got to interpret it. And then the next generation thinks they're being so witty because they're just trying to like push through all this data set, like dealing with their shit. Like, okay, let's just like put it all together and then nobody get offended. And then do your best to like try to like adapt to everything and get to this new reasonable platform of what the best way forward is, and allow the grand media and the movements and the moguls that are trying to move the data sets, you know, create the next movies that aren't considered offensive to actually be put forward, right? And yet everything's still the same old, oh, you have to have a love story and you have to have an antagonist and you have to have some sort of motivation for your main character, and then you have to have the antagonism for the protagonist, and that there's really only 38 plot lines that ever really existed in humanity. And it's just like, okay, is that true? And to what extent am I inventing my life? How creative is my life? And to what extent does Dildonics dildos and the fact that the whole world seems as if it's full of human dildos, and Elon Musk talking about AI, oh, the grand AI. That's what we get to listen to, right? We get to listen to the grand AI. Oh, you know, like, oh, it'll surpass all of us. It's going to be a oneness. Look, it's already being employed, right? And in one way, you can be scared about it. In another way, you can be in denial. In another way, you can recognize it. It's already here. It's already happening. It's already employed. Yes, we created the radio, and then they made movies, and then that sent signals, and then we got First Contact, and then we reverse engineered it. We got Teflon, we got the internet, and then we got people saying, well, you give credit to humanity. It's not the aliens, it's human development. And then you got people trying to race on Area 51 to figure out, well, what the fuck's the fucking cover-up, motherfucks? And it's like, okay, here's the problem, right? We're in a crisis. You're in a crisis, right? And so then everyone has to shovel through psychological meltdown, neurosis, chronic anxieties, trying to identify with other people, trying to be safe, but trying to be alert, trying to be aggressive, trying to speak one's mind without being sensitive at the same time, and fuck this and fuck that. And what are you going to do? And so now we got the internet, and now the internet is inviting more radio, more energy, more sophisticated aliens to come down. Why do I say this? Because I've met them, right? You want to deny it? That's fine. I want to say I didn't meet them, like taking on a board and ship their hand type of meeting them. I just had my engagements. I just saw one pedestrian, and then I got sucked up to another, and yep, this fucking happened. You guys can deny it all you want, and it doesn't matter to me. Right now, it's just, what is my place in the universe? What is my character? Where's my heart? And to what extent is one willing to violate their very own character, right, in order to get along in the world, right? In order to get along in the world. And who can you trust? And why do you want to trust them? And what's bullshit and what's not bullshit? And to what extent do people already believe in what they're thinking? And to what extent are they not believing in what they're thinking, and hence they're properly bullshitting you? And then what point are they not really certain? And so you don't know what's a feed and what's not a feed. Well, I tell you, I'm not bullshitting you about the whole alien thing. And I'm not bullshitting you about this and that. Oh, go to work later, y'all. Good old Chaz Carlton, right? Chase Carlton.
right? And so then it's like, okay, you get the Russian guy on here, and you're like, oh, the Russian, the escape, the other, the communist, the other, and then the guy he's been around the block, and then you get old Chase Carlton, the old CC. See what I mean? CC, Chaz. It's like, oh, okay, Chase Bank, Chase Carlton Sheets, Carlton. Any interpretability, any means of interpreting the world, and any means that you can find a meaning in anything. This is the problem. This is the problem with being human, right? It's a problem with being the champ. And, it's like, okay, look, even if I give in to this rap sheet, it's merely misdemeanor. My brother said, hey, just be like Rocky. Like Rocky. He's like, they go, hey, do you got a rap sheet? Yeah, nothing to brag about. Right? There's nothing to brag about this rap sheet. It doesn't matter, though. I could have been led to the shit-stained water, and I just can't have it. I can't have it, and I shouldn't have to have it. I'm a functional, spiritual individual. I'm a high-functioning, spiritual individual. I don't have to go to fucking work and make money to feed my kids and buy some new fucking house. Now I'm in lateral drift mode. Right? Creative mode. But there's only so many times you can go back to the lab again at this age, back to the lab again, stabbing at the world, thinking that whatever you're going to produce is just going to kind of fall into your hand, fall into production, especially when your license is fucking gone. You can't fucking drive legally. You got the impending legal things going on. You got problems with your women and with your significant others. You're taking care of their cats. Your place smells like cat shit because you're taking care of their cats. I mean, what to say, right? Other than, even the judge in this case has a shitty bangs like me. It's almost like I'm maintaining my bangs, my bowl haircut, just to mirror off the judge. What's the point of that? Why do that? Who needs to do that? Anyway, and so that's my morning rant. What could I say? Somebody said, hey, numbskulls slam doors. Numbskulls, dipshits, are less sensitive to sound. They have no problem pounding doors, just like my neighbors downstairs. Fucking numbs, pound doors, yelling, barking. They don't even think it's a fucking problem, right? They don't think they're fucking over their kids in the future. They're just doing it anyway, right? And then, what to do? Should I buy my neighbor? He's lonely. His woman left, went to fucking New Mexico. It's Jesus. He drinks tequila, right? Should I buy him some tequila? He's lonely. Leave your comments below, right? Leave your comments below. Anyway, so that's about it. I think I'm going to call it a wrap, only because it's like, what else to say? What else to say? I'm not exercising a robust, verbose lexicon of very dainty walk around, like residual commentary on something ethereal or political. I don't believe in like getting behind somebody's political theory is the most appropriate way to move forward in humanity. It's like, oh, there's plenty of virtue in any human, but there's not enough to save the day in any of the humans. And it's like, oh, does it really pretty much boil down in a capitalistic world down to money and relationships? And I'd say, well, yeah, that's pretty much, those are the two basic things, right? And then those are the two basic things. How do you look around your world, and how do you find what it is that you do have in hand? You have an item at hand. You have an item in the hand. You're close to things. How do you manipulate the most close things in your environment to make them better? How do you help the homeless person that lives 200 yards away and won't let you help them, that's actually missing a leg, that writes the tiniest little things inside of a little fucking matchbook thing? How do you help that guy? Do you go give him hot eggs? Do you just walk by right to the fucking gas station that they're next to buy them coffee if they won't tell you what they want? And you watch other people as you take a fucking bus, a transit by, saying, hey, there's that fucking homeless guy with one leg sitting out there in the fucking snow again, living in it, somehow getting through it, right? And then you watch other people show up trying to figure out, trying to reason with him, trying to figure out what he needs to help, throwing him chump change, pocket change. I mean, it's anything. It's this whole increase of the homeless, like the whole Jesus, the poor will always be amongst you. Well, in that case, Christ, take that and shove it, right? There needs to be Bitcoin technology. There needs to be a way to cover these people. And if the capitalists on the right don't want to give over this money because they'd rather throw fucking $10 billion at a fucking plane instead of distributing it to bring the homeless off the ground. I mean, maybe you could even start some sort of huge antinatalist colony for homeless people. Like, look, we're going to help you out. We just want you to sterilize yourself, right? I mean, there's options. I mean, there are awful options. And I don't actually like the options that humanity has to face, that our organisms have to face, that this bodily organism, these spirits in the spirit test cell, it's not really some Christian Mormon like,
Oh, you go with the world because you're having a test through your life. You're being tested, and you did.
but maybe you are. Maybe it's the fucking, you're looking for the Kwisatz Haderach and the young thing that's some sort of this, or the Kobayashi Maru. You have to fucking solve the test. You have to make certain you're going to solve the equation. Don't fuck anything up, right? Solve the fucking puzzle. The puzzle called your life. Try to get what you want. Try to mitigate it. Try to figure out that margin between you and what's better and squeeze it. Pinch it down just a tad. Just go there, right? And then maybe you're going to have to end up like mine. You'll get fucking old. You'll get fucking into your older age. You'll become a little bit wiser. And then you'll have that younger gap of people, the next generation coming up at a higher pitch, a higher peak, bonding with the next technology, unless there's some apocalypse and not just a pun of apocalypse, even though the Grand AI probably actually keeps North Korea from bombing us. Right, keeps us from actually deploying nukes, which then allows a president that might be tied into that say, hey, nukes are not off the table, even if maybe the AI won't allow the nukes to happen, or maybe it will. Who knows? And so you go, like I said, you go on, you listen to argumentation, you listen to all these competing, fucked up ideas from people all around the planet. 7 billion people barking, and you just get this small little margin in these small little groups to watch fucking rednecks in the States argue with people in fucking Israel, or fucking people in the UK, or the Canadians, the bright-minded dipshit, non-dipshit Canadians. And here we are. Here we are in this grand world. And here I am all boiled down in this little shitbag room here waiting for morning to pop, my sunrise, so I can re-enter the day, this particular day with a fuckload of anxiety, right? I got a fuckload of anxiety. And this is merely my fucking calcify it inside and then castigate yourself and then make certain that you have the cathartic action through your expression. Let it out. Just let it out. Breathe. Be vocal. Like say something as you're exhaling. Like try to articulate stuff. Like try to move people. Like try to take them somewhere. Like don't just let them like go through their day thinking, oh, everything's gonna be dandy. Like, hey, they gotta go off to their fucking jobs and they gotta wipe other people's asses, or they gotta say, that's right, Tin Hut boss, this way, that. And then you got the people, the fucking rogues, the ones that are fucking, I don't know where I'm going, I can't get a job, I got too much anxiety, I'm too fucking fucked, the world's fucked, I don't know how to do. And it's all just chase the dollar bill like it's a fucking carrot. Get the fucking carrot. Don't just be the donkey. Be a donkey that grows a fucking arm out of its goddamn mouth, and you grab the fucking carrot and then raw, and then you stick it in your back pocket, and then all the fucking salespeople, unless I'm selling you shit, you don't buy their shit. You don't buy their shit. You don't try to do the easy route. You can try to do the easy route, but no, you find that balancing self-characteristic, that defining one nugget that made you fucking golden back in the day, and that's what you try to capitalize. That's what you try to move forward. That's what you try to present yourself before God and humanity with some sense of integrity and some sense of trust, even if every now and again you have to violate your own fucking integrity and your own fucking trust. And go,
How did I do that to myself mentally? I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know if I should have. Jesus said.
So do your best. Hold your shit together. Don't fall off the deep end. Let the deep end come to you before you're gonna leap. But I swear, though, if God presents some fucking corridor, some sort of Stargate to you, You can't pussify yourself. You got to jump. You got to leap. You got to do it. I'm not saying go jump off of roofs. I'm not saying go out and deny gravity. Big lesson I learned after leaping off a roof years ago was if you're going to leap, if you're going to deny gravity, start from the ground. Start from the ground level and then try to go up, right? Don't start up and then try to prove it going down, right? Anyway, so that being said, what to say? I got a xylophone. I should go play. Like that's the other thing. Now I got to learn the fucking xylophone. All I have is chopsticks and some sort of rambling nonsense. It's too piano-like. I'm not a piano man. I'm not a rocket man. Not in that sense. I'm an art rocket man. Not that kind of rocket man. But man, this rocket, I'm on the fucking slow boat. Like I'm the Slothsville. Mike Phil, the bad world of Mike Phil. MikePhil.com, that guy. This fucking numbskull, psychotic idiot, dipshit, rambling. Okay, so look, back in the day. See, this pretty old thing, like I painted that back in the day. That's when I was crisp. That's when my mind was on crisper, right? I was a crisper mind. And now I'm just painting kookisms. There's so much talent in this world. Here, let me show you this talent, right? This guy. He's amazing. And so I'm over in Amsterdam. Go get along. Oh, yeah, that's where burglar. So this guy produces this cool little painting, right? That's a painting, right? And look at how the building tops are a little bit bent. But then you get the same one, a night scene of the same building thing, same artist. It's a little more wonky. It's a little more cartoony. It's beautiful. They're beautiful. They're beautiful prints. There's so much aesthetic beauty in the world. And so this is the whole thing, where language moves into aesthetic form, where language in the grapheme moves into graffiti, and the graffiti moves into a painting, and the symbolism of video, and the symbolism of how to re-encoil oneself within the language dynamic sets. Become a multi-glock. Say a few things. Figure a few things out. If you get real bored, try to learn another language. Yeah, might as well. I mean, what's the point with all these new translation devices? Just fucking do the plug-in. Just plug it in. No, don't just plug it in. Stretch the mind. Move the mind. Always move the mind. Always exercise something. And then maybe if you need a beer or 10 or something to numb your skull down just so you can coke up and push against it. So finally have the revelation that maybe once in your fucking life you should be sober. And even if you don't buy into Mormon ethics, maybe you can follow along growing up around these puritanical Mormon, knowing all these converts and all this nonsense and all this cheatery. And the Mormons of yesteryear, not the same Mormons of today. Same thing with you Muslims. Oh, the new generation bonding with the tech, the whole one world coming together. One big mind feed, one big collaboration, no more secrets, but everyone's got one. Everyone wants to believe one, and we're fed up with each other's neurosis. What are we to do? What are we to do? I'll tell you what we're supposed to do. The big secret, the end secret to conform you guys